Thank you, Kyle. Great to be here. Mm. Sure. So I am a somatic healer and inner child expert. I am also a mentor to coaches, healers, and therapists that are looking to learn a proven, reliable, repeatable method to get their clients the deepest results. And truly passionate about people learning how to feel their feelings all the way through, like what it is to really truly feel your feelings all the way through, and how easy it can be, and how much freedom comes from that, and how to really free ourselves from our limitations and the beliefs and behaviors that we inherited, and the generational trauma. So I'm a woman on a mission. 100%. 100%. I can't agree with that enough. And I would say that over the 9 years that I've been in business, my methodology, my work has evolved so much because I've evolved. And it is those moments when the struggle or the frustration of entrepreneurship, of having a business, really brings me down to my knees, that I tap into something new that gets to then be a part of my method, where I get to upgrade how I serve the world. So it's it's a gift, and it's a gift that keeps on giving, I'll say it that way. At times when you just want to, you know, be like, can it just be easy? I'm working towards that. Hmm. Mm. Yeah, to me it feels like a contraction. I contract. And I've learned to remind myself, just like a woman who is in labor about to give birth to a child, to birth something into existence, that the contractions, during contractions, is when it's time to breathe, not push, not force, but surrender to the discomfort, to the intense pains of contraction, and breathe through it and just focus on the one thing in front of you. So that is like my reminder that I'm always in that contraction to expansion. But yes, that on the other side of that contraction is an expansion. If it was nicely set up for humans, I would not be a woman on a mission right now. It's heartbreaking. Yeah, it's heartbreaking at times because I could be in a room with a group of people and hear them talk and share things and pick up on so much of where they are stuck and in survival patterns, or, hear about a couple that is struggling in their relationship and just be able to pinpoint and know it. So, like, I see and witness people's pain, or I live in San Diego to walk on the streets and see homeless people, and the way that we don't take care of, the homeless, the way that yeah, I mean, I think it's an understatement to say how screwed up living in this world is today. And um, it's the perfect storm. Like, if it was all beautiful and comfortable, we we those of us that are ready to evolve and be the guides for others wouldn't. So it's one of those things that you have to just accept it. And to speak to more of what you're saying of, we're not meant to live in a society where there's so much distraction, and whether that's through food or television, or, a million channels of television, anything at your fingertips, which was not the case when I was growing up. So, yes, it's become more toxic for sure. Um, and more than anything now, it's so important that people learn what it is to truly feel your feelings. I did a session with a woman yesterday. She actually has a podcast. And so she's like, I'd love to have you on my show, but I'd love to experience your work first so we can talk about it. So I took her through a session, and she said, I'm so amazed at how easy you've now taught me it is to feel my feelings. I've had to use marijuana to tap into just a fraction of what you just took me through. And so there's a lot that we have forgotten about it, and most people, and I'd say that's what I'm on a mission for, is for people to know what it is to feel their feelings. I actually want to do a TED talk on it. So, because we've complicated it, from most people are intellectualizing their feelings, thinking about their feelings, stuffing down their feelings, running away from it, um, struggling with it, numbing out from it, doing anything but feeling it. Yeah, there's something about understanding that your nervous system is always working for you, but not always working with you. And that part is up to you. It's always listening for safety or threat. And when it senses safety, it goes to metabolize and learn whatever that energy is. And when it senses threat, it puts you in a bubble and it protects you. It puts you in fight, flight, freeze, or please. And the opportunity for us to learn to self regulate, to learn to work with our nervous system, is really the key, like the opening the door to starting to be able to process our emotions. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I heard this one time in a at a networking event that the language of an entrepreneur is risk. And it just was like like blew my mind. I'm like, yeah, you hear an entrepreneur speak, you hear risk. And so if you're signing up to be an entrepreneur, you're signing up for risk. And therefore, you got to learn how to ride the waves, to ride the roller coaster, the ups and downs. And so to me, that is knowing how to truly feel our feelings all the way through. Yeah. Yeah. So there will be some people that are training there. It is my students that are in my certification program do attend it. Um, and it is predominantly for coaches, healers, and leaders. And that is because I know that that is where I get to make the biggest impact is by training other leaders. That being said, I wouldn't turn away someone that just wants the healing. So, and they feel stuck in some area, either personally or professionally, and then it leads to them either self sabotaging or feeling like they can't do it, feeling like an imposter. There's a lot of imposter syndrome and wanting to feel, and this was me for the 10 years before I started my business. I was on the journey, I was on the healing, I wanted to coach, but I also felt that I felt I was lacking something. I felt stuck in certain areas and I didn't feel ready like I had the tools. I looked at my life and I'm like, I'm not an example of this. Like I still need to get my house in order. So I think for some people, for some coaches and healers, they know that they, if they are already working with clients, they see themselves getting triggered. They see where they get stuck with a client. They feel like they're doing it more from a place of fear and doubt, and a lot of times burnout. It leads to burnout. It's this part of you that deeply desires to want to coach and support others and guide others, but doing it from such a place of empty or unknown, like not having a clear method. That's something else that comes up a lot. People are seeking the tools that feel complete, like a complete method and process, which is what I give. Yeah. So instead of having a bunch of tools that then you feel like, okay, but a client comes to me and I don't still don't know which tool to use when. And so it's exhausting. And what I enable them with is the ability to feel that they can relax and just hold the space and follow the process and that it works every time. And that what that provides for the guide, for the facilitator, is a sense of calmness in their own nervous system. And that is the most important thing for your client is your regulated nervous system. It's not what you say, it's not so much what you do, it's your ability to hold that open heart, loving space, calm mind, present, loving space. I say that I heard Gabor Mate, who, is one of the top authors and healers in this space. I heard him say that on a post that showed up on Instagram recently. And I'm like, that's what I say all the time. It's like more than any tool that you have, and I'll give you the tool, I'll give you the method, you'll have steps, you'll have a process, all that. But if you're not regulated, none of that stuff matters. But having all that contributes to your ability to relax and know that you can trust the process completely. And then you're always like, and feeling like you need to fix the client and do what you need. And it's that disorientation within yourself that impacts your client's ability to get the results. I for about 6 years before I started my business, I was coaching, but it wasn't in a business capacity, in a paid capacity. It was volunteering for an organization. So I did get to work with people, and I found I was efforting a lot. I wasn't knowing what I know today. I wasn't guiding them. I was telling them what to do. I was I was doing what a lot of people do these days, which is they speak only from their experience. And so they're doing too much talking, not enough just holding the person, letting them feel through what they need to feel through. You'd be amazed how much of my sessions now is me just sitting there quiet. And how profound it is to just grant someone permission to hold themselves, to feel what's there. And yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Why? Oh, when it you're saying when I was doing that, when I was coaching in that way? Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, what did what did my house look like? Yeah, so I had a lot of yes, thank you. My life, right? I had a lot of awareness. Um, uh, Back then I thought that that's all you needed. So I really was only exposed to a lot of great NLP and mindset tools. But if you looked at my life, if someone is a fly on the wall, I was someone that was anxious all the time, and which to me, anxiety is really just running from something. And I was running from myself. I was constantly abandoning myself. I didn't want to be with myself. I couldn't be by myself. I was very codependent on my relationship, people pleasing. And if, yet I was living in New York City, and being outside of my apartment felt very overwhelming. So it was like I was overwhelmed by the energy of other people, yet feeling like I didn't want to be home alone by myself. So this constant emptiness inside me. I was lost in my careers, searching for whatever was going to make me the most money so that then I could go do what I really want to do, which was coaching. No, I had to leave. Yeah. Hmm. It's funny because I spent 4 years living in a 4,000 square foot apartment with 6 bedrooms, 5 roommates, uh, gorgeous view of the whole city. But the last 6 months of my time in New York before I hit my rock bottom. So when I picture everything that I've shared here, it's actually not that place. It was because that was a commercial space that she then converted back to commercial. So my boyfriend and I at the time moved out, didn't want to leave the neighborhood. So we moved into a tiny, probably like 350 square feet, converted 1 bedroom. So in a walk up, built in 1902, totally renovated inside, but tiny and going from being on the seventh floor where you couldn't hear really feel much of the New York busyness to now being on like the second or third floor and in a tiny apartment was in the middle of Soho with so much of people's energy and noise. That was it broke me. It broke me. It really did. It had me see that like it was the huge 4,000 square foot apartment was a nice escape. So I was able to keep pretending that I was happy. But living in that little place, it completely broke me because I didn't feel like I enjoyed being in my home, and it highlighted more to me how much I didn't enjoy being in New York, that I couldn't handle it. So started feeling depressed, like eating a half a pint of ice cream a day, and I don't even like sweets. So really hit a low. Mhm. Hmm. I would say now more than ever. I don't feel like I've quite arrived fully there. But, yeah, reflecting back on the past 9 years, definitely now more than ever. And I attest that to going through some difficult moments, like some really huge, successful, like explosive years of growth and success financially and impact wise, to at the same time in those moments not believing that I can do this and having people on my team that I gave a lot of my power away to having that crumble and spending 2 years rebuilding from the healthiest place, really discovering my ability to run a business, to be the CEO, and having an incredible team now that is so aligned, so supportive that I can literally step away from facilitating anything in any of my programs or my retreat, and the work would continue and the impact would be just as strong. So I'm very proud of the certified coaches and the team that I've developed. Yeah. Hmm. My very first retreat was one on one. It was a one on one client. That's what, yeah, yeah. He was a very successful man in his mid 30s going through separation with his wife. And he was living in the countryside of Canada. He's in the oil business, so had a huge farmhouse, with cattle and a helicopter that he flew, and wasn't doing the work on his own. So he was signed up originally for my virtual program. And so he was like, "Would you be willing to guide me through it?" And I'm like, "Let's do it." So we did 6 days in person together. And I went up there, so I got to experience my own little retreat, being on his farm and going for a ride in his helicopter. So yeah, not your typical. Oh man, this is 8 years ago. Whew, try and remember. I imagine so. Yeah, it was definitely profound for him to reconnect to his inner child, to see where what he learned from mom and dad have really led to how he was showing up in his life and his marriage, and to start to take back that power and reparent himself. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot there. To try and summarize it like that was impressive. I have never told it in the way that you have, as far as painting that picture of the apartment, and like that really added something new to how I tell the story all the time, because I'm on a lot of podcasts. People are like, "How did you get into this?" And, I probably spend more like 8 minutes sharing the journey. So there was a lot that, you didn't hear, so you didn't know to add to it. But what I took away and loved about what you shared was bringing me to that moment of 3 o'clock in the morning, waking up with anxiety, or being in the city, hearing the noise, wanting to go out because I don't want to be alone, but yet not wanting to stay home. It really added something to the experience compared to the times that I've shared it from, like, I was living in New York and didn't want to be outside, but also felt anxiety being inside. It went deeper. So I was like, ooh, I like this. Yeah, really appreciated that. Yeah. Hmm. Closing thoughts. Ooh, I have a lot. If you want to feel your feelings all the way through, imagine yourself standing on a stage, and it's a one man or one woman show, and whatever that feeling is, you have to express it without words. It would require you to embody it, to use your facial expressions, your body language, to emote with sound for the audience to really feel and get whatever the I am dot 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 statement is. I am crushed. I am anxious. I am frustrated. And if you do that and you let that part of you shine for 90 seconds, set a timer, act it out for 90 seconds from a place of not trying to get rid of it, but more letting it take up stage, letting it be the star, letting it be you, because it is happening in you. It is a part of you. Your nervous system will metabolize it, and you will have felt that feeling all the way through. Yeah. Well, I hang out on Instagram. It's where I post my content. If you follow me there, you will get a message from me within a day to a week maximum, because I love to get to know the human behind the follower. I am a wealth of knowledge, of free resources, of all kinds of resources. So if I know a little bit more of what you're looking for, then I can guide you. So please follow me there. And if you're looking to learn more about my work and my method, you can find that information at trainingcampforthesoul.com. Yeah. Thank you, Kyle, for having me. Thanks.